Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys that we want to get into. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all are fully aware, Giannis Antetokoumpo and the Milwaukee Bucks got eliminated yesterday against Jimmy Butler's led Miami Heat. Funny enough, I was totally unaware that game was going on. I even woke up this morning just to find out that the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings play. I was like, wait, what? Because I watched the Lakers game, but some of these games come on really late where I am. So I was like, man, I can't watch any of these. I can't keep up with all the games. So anyway, I woke up this morning and I opened up my phone and I opened up my Instagram because I follow Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, ESPN, SportsCenter, all of these guys, NBA. So I usually get some news there. In fact, some news when I hear about trades and big news is news that comes out. I usually sometimes hear from Instagram. So anyway, I open up my phone and I see a still image of Giannis sitting at the lectern. And the minute I looked at his face, I was like, oh, they lost. You could just see that they lost. So then I swipe over to hear what he was saying. And he was responding to a reporter that had asked him something about failure. And it was about a 50-second clip. And what Giannis was saying absolutely blew my mind. And I actually clicked on the comments and I saw Kevin Hart, some other very famous people kind of saluting Giannis. So I woke up, looked at the box score. I saw that Giannis finished that game with 38 points, if I'm not mistaken, and 20 rebounds, shooting 52% from the field. But he went 0-2 from the three. Thank God he didn't shoot a lot of threes. And he missed 13 free throws, shooting 43%. He missed what? 10. He made 10 out of 23 free throws. Had he made the rest of his free throws, they probably win that game. And he probably has a 50-point game. Whatever. So I can understand that Giannis was very, very upset. So what I did was I looked for the full press conference to hear him speak in his entirety instead of looking at a short clip online. And as Giannis began to speak and answer the reporter, you could see that he was irritated by the question. But I believe Giannis gave one of the most thought-provoking answers to the question of failure. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Giannis had to say, and then we're going to come back and really unpack this thing. Take a listen to what Giannis Antetokoumpo had to say here.
I just asked Bud the exact same question, but I'm curious for you. Do you view this season as a failure?
Oh, my God. Okay, because I'm not that up. You asked me the same question last year, Eric. Okay. Do you get the promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success, you know. And if you've never, I don't want to make it personal. So there's always steps to it, you know. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure. That's what you're telling me. No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure in sports. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful. Some days you're not. Some days it's your turn. Some days it's not your turn. And that's what sports is about. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits, try to play better, not have a 10-day stretch with playing bad basketball, you know, and hopefully we can win a championship. So 50 years from 1971 to 2021 that we didn't win a championship, it was 50 years of failures? No, it was not. It was steps to it, you know, and we were able to win one. Hopefully we can win another one. You know, sorry that I didn't want to make it personal because you asked me the same question last year, and last year I was in the right mind space to answer the question back, but I remember it.
So you heard what Giannis had to say. Here are my thoughts. I believe that was one of the most thought-provoking answers I've heard any athlete give on this particular issue. Because what Giannis said made me realize that failure and success isn't black or white. It isn't a yes or no answer. That there are many different layers to failure or success. He spoke about the fact that success, there's steps to success. I thought that was powerful. And I thought that it was absolutely true. No one has higher expectations of me than me. Nobody. No one expects more from me than me. And I always expect every year to do better than I did before. Every year, even if we look at business, if we did X, if we did this last year, if we produce X, I want to produce X plus the next year. I always want to do better. And I think a lot of people that way. But what generally happens is whenever we strive for something and we don't achieve the thing that we wanted to achieve, a lot of us begin to beat ourselves up. A lot of us, dare I say, begin to feel like, well, we're failures. I failed. I wasn't able to get the thing that I wanted. Instead of realizing that you're not always going to win. This is a powerful takeaway. Just because you strive for something doesn't mean you're going to get that thing. Doesn't mean that that thing is owed to you. Sometimes success is seasonal. Sometimes you're going to do really well for a period of time. And other times, you're going to face challenges. What's important to understand, however, is that success is a process. It ebbs and flows. And that's the point Giannis was making. You're not always going to win. And he said that MJ played for 15 years. 15 years. He won 6 titles. So you're telling me the rest of those years of his NBA career were a failure? Is that what you're telling me? I thought that was a very thought-provoking statement that he made. Even my wife and I go back, because I'm one of those people where it's like, if I'm not getting what I want, there's no damn reason for me to be smiling. That's just me. There's nothing to be smiling about. If I'm not achieving the things I want to achieve, I'm like, what the hell am I smiling for? What's to smile about? And my wife has had to push back on me at times. She's like, this is a ridiculous way to exist in this life. I'm like, well, what do you mean? She said, first of all, while you're sitting up here beating up yourself, why don't you sit down and think about all of the successes that you've had over the years? You sit back, you're like, well, this thing happened, that thing happened. Maybe it hasn't been so bad. And she said, so wait a minute, you're telling me that you can only enjoy life when you're getting exactly the thing that you want? She said, then you're going to be miserable for a long time because you're not always going to succeed. You can't look at success in a vacuum. Take a macro approach to it and realize sometimes things are out of your control. If we relate it back to sports, injuries. Giannis played 3 of the 5 games of this series. They lost that series 4-1. You're injured. You have a gruesome injury. How is that your fault if you get injured? Why would you beat yourself up over something like that you have absolutely no control over? Sometimes you may be going for a job, you don't get it, another guy gets it. Maybe that guy just was meant to get that job. That doesn't mean you're a failure. It just means that you didn't get that job. You should feel a sense of guilt when you want something deeply in your heart, but you know you didn't do everything in your power to get it. There you should feel guilt. But if you know you gave it your all and you did your very best, what are you beating yourself up for? Now, funny enough, there are different schools of thought on this. Shaq reacted to what the comments of Giannis Antetokoumpo, and Shaq feels totally opposite. Shaq said, I'm one of these guys where I'm like, well, whatever year I played and I didn't win, I viewed it as a failure. He said, I understood where Giannis was coming from, but this is my view on it. And what that tells you is that there's not one answer to success. It's not one answer. It's not black or white. It's not because this guy said this and that guy said that, and therefore that's what it is. There are various ways to look at it. And if you apply it practically to your life, the example he gave to the guy, which was, well, do you get a promotion every year? So is every year a failure? He said, no. So why are you asking me this? Why are you asking me this? I thought Giannis provided a view to this particular question that I've really never heard a superstar player say that. And Charles Barkley was on Giannis Antetokoumpo's side. To me, I thought it was a fantastic answer. I'm not saying that Giannis's answer is the answer. What I'm saying is that it's another way to look at this very complicated question that some people try to distill down to a simple yes or no. These are my thoughts. What I want to know from you guys is simply this. What are your views on what Giannis had to say? What are your views on what I had to say? And when were moments, when did you have moments in your life when you strive for something you felt like a failure, but later on you realize maybe that thing wasn't meant for me, and ultimately you went on to get other success in the future? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we will catch you guys on the next show.